Thank you very much. Have a great Christmas. Next.
About time. I have been waiting for the last 15 minutes. This is unacceptable.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but it is Christmas Eve. It is our busiest time of the year.
Ma'am? Oh, don't call me ma'am. Do not call me ma'am. This is a disgrace.
Okay, that comes to $36.15. Would you like to pay cash or card?
Oh, I have coupons.
Great. I'm sorry, ma'am, but this coupon isn't valid.
I'm sorry?
Well, these are exchangeable at our chain, and plus it expired 3 years ago.
But that doesn't apply to me. Do you know how much I spend here every month?
I'm sorry, it's store policy.
I would like to speak to your manager.
She's busy.
Then I'd like the number of your corporate line.
They closed on Christmas Eve. Now, ma'am, can you please pay? You are holding up the line.
How dare you speak to me like that? I'm being personally attacked.
Please just pay so we can just...
Oh, don't you interrupt me. I'm not paying for these. You've just lost business.
Fine. Whatever you say, Karen.
What did you just say to me?
Oh no.
Christmas time. A time to rewatch your favourite holiday films from your childhood, and quickly come to the conclusion that they are really not as good as you remember. One of my favourite parts of Christmas is, of course, watching Christmas movies, from watching Elf for the 5th billionth time when I really should watch something else, or convincing my family that Die Hard is in fact a Christmas classic.
What? No, of course it's a Christmas movie. See, there are Christmas references everywhere. See? I told you. Christmas.
But what I do love is when a movie does a spin on a Christmas classic and does a new interpretation of it, but in modern day. Remember A Christmas Carol? That story that has been adapted like over 100 times about a mean-spirited person who is visited by the ghosts of Christmas past, present and future and is eventually transformed into a much more kind-hearted individual. Yeah, well I found out that that concept has actually been reimagined again for a new Christmas movie that has just come out this year. No, I'm not talking about that one. No, not talking about that one either. God, how many reimaginings of A Christmas Carol do we need? No, I'm talking about a little-known Christmas movie that I had the pleasure of coming across just the other day. A Christmas Karen. No, this is not a joke. This is a real film. How do you make a Karen the protagonist of a Christmas film without wanting to bash your head against a wall at the sheer sound of her voice? I don't really know. Like, by definition, the term Karen is a slang term that refers to the privileged and entitled actions made by, most commonly, a middle-aged white woman. How the heck is that supposed to be the concept of a Christmas movie? No joke, when I found out that this Christmas movie existed, I did an endless search to see where I could watch it, and oh boy, this film does not disappoint. This might be one of the most bizarre Christmas movies I've ever seen. Nay, one of the most bizarre films I have ever seen. So let's check it out. The movie begins with this little girl selling hot chocolate on the sidewalk, which is really sweet, completely harmless, until Karen comes in full swing and calls the police on her, potentially getting her mum arrested in the process.
Hot chocolate for free.
So this is Karen, the unfortunate lead of this film, who also happens to be the most unlikable person ever. We just get a solid 5 minutes of this lady terrorizing this waiter, asking to speak to the manager, and almost killing this kid.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god! You scratched my car! Who are your parents? What's your phone number? Lawsuit pending! Next time you leap out in front of my car, I just won't break!
Did she just threaten to end that kid's life? Typical Karen, am I right? Yeah, the old lady across the road said that our Christmas lights were too bright, and if we didn't take them down, she'd threatened to take them down herself. What? Oh, that is so funny. I know, such a Karen. Yeah, the lady in my neighbourhood hit me with her car and threatened me that she would do it again, even in my sleep. What? So yeah, it's quickly established that Karen is a Horrible person. No one likes her, she's rude to everyone she meets, and no one is really willing to stand up to her. Well, that is until she is visited by someone.
Little.
Hey, Karen. I'm coming in, Karen.
What on earth is going on? It's been pretty straightforward up until this point, until this lady, who looks like she's just wandered off the set of The Walking Dead, turns up. Okay. So this lady was essentially a friend of Karen's years ago, and she herself was also a bit of an entitled herself, if you know what I mean.
I came here to warn you that you are on a super fast track to end up just like me.
So she warns Karen that if she keeps up her entitled ways, she's going to end up like her. Dead, somehow. So to help Karen, this lady tells her that during the night of Christmas Eve, the ghosts of Christmas past, present and future will pay her a visit to hopefully steer her away from the fate that she's guaranteed if she doesn't change her ways. Does that make sense so far? No? Yeah, fair enough. Let's just see how this unravels. That night, the ghost of Christmas past visits Karen and takes her back in time to visit her younger self.
Me?
Hi, I'm Karen.
And it's revealed that, as a child, Karen was perfectly harmless, but it was during these early years that changed Karen due to her rough childhood.
Was I always this stupid as a child?
No, Karen. I don't think anything's changed. So they jump forward a few years to when Karen worked at this bar.
The fizzy pig? Let's go, let's go.
Well, to get to that part of your past, you gotta touch my...
Hand,
No, that'll take us too far back.
chest. Okay, so if I don't touch your chest, what do I have to touch?
And you have to hold on tight, you hear me? Then grab that onion, girl.
I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. So they visit younger Karen at the bar where she used to work as a bartender. And that's where we get this scene.
The bartender with the most dollars at their feet wins the Fizzy Pig wreath made of $20 bills. Booyah!
Booyah!
No, not like that. You need to twerk, like this. Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Okay, let's move away from whatever that was. So they go back one more time to where Karen and her younger brother Todd used to work for this woman called Jackie, who was also the same lady from before. The one that came out of Karen's oven and warned her not to turn into her. Well, it's highlighted that Jackie was basically the one that Karen learnt all her ways from, because apparently Karen thinks that this lady is just the definition of a good role model.
I'm going to call your manager, and I'm going to report you for manhandling my packages like yesterday's garbage. And here I thought that you people were supposed to be gentle and tidy.
Okay, I think we're done here. Let's just skip back to the past now.
Don't embarrass me, Todd. I have been tolerating you being queer since you were 8 years old. And now you're only defending this fairy because
Karen, can you not see what you're turning into?
it's better than who you are.
You know, they were starting to make me feel sorry for her, you know, all her rough past and all that, but yeah, I think they're going backwards at this point. Karen, everyone, the most unlikable protagonist since... Yeah, no, I don't think anyone could top that. Karen, the most unlikable protagonist ever be put on screen. Well done.
I am done. I quit.
You can't quit. You're fired.
You can't quit, you're fired. Get real. So the ghost of Christmas past has, at this point, just had enough of Karen's crap and sent her back to the present, where she will await the arrival of the next spirit, the ghost of Christmas present. Because apparently we're just getting started. So the ghost of Christmas present is tasked with showing Karen through her present, which kind of makes her power set seem a lot less impressive, considering the other two can go back in time and see the future, where I guess this woman can walk through walls and spy on people.
Ow. You have to hold on to this, Karen. You ain't Slimer.
Yeah. You know, You know, this film has actually had pretty decent effects so far, considering their, I'm guessing, pretty small budget, but yeah, this just isn't it. So they visit her neighbour's house, the one with the little girl who was selling hot chocolate at the start of the movie. Remember? The one who Karen called the cops on? And it's revealed that this little girl is actually really sick and is suffering from leukemia, but because her family is so poor, treatment becomes really expensive and they can't afford it.
I know that Mommy and Daddy help you get presents. And I know they don't have money because of me.
Wait, what's going on?
So if you have any leftovers kids don't want, I'll give them a home.
Why is this so depressing?
Most of all, please talk to God so my family can be happy.
Yeah, okay. I didn't expect that. So, up until this point, this film has essentially just been about Karen just being a horrible person, and then we just cut to this struggling family trying to provide for their sick daughter, and it's heartbreaking. And for such a heavy topic, the film conveys this really well, and it has a lot of emotional moments. Until you remember it's in the same film as this.
You can help me find the manager. I wish to speak to the manager. I want to speak to the manager.
So, what's gonna happen to her? To Nia?
Well, if she stops taking the medication, she's gonna be... What is it you always say? Toast. Toast. Toast! Bugger! We're gonna be late for the annual toast!
That might be the most forced transition into the next scene I have ever seen.
Son of a...
Next, they visit Karen's brother after she hasn't spoken to him in 20 years. And I guess at their little Christmas get-togethers, Karen is the subject of some very funny jokes.
She's kind of evil queen.
So does that make you Snow White?
Oh, yes.
Oh, so kind of like an Ursula.
Yes!
Yeah, Ursula. Yeah. Or Cruella de Vil.
Yeah, sure.
Very funny.
All right. Well, Disney villains notwithstanding, I was thinking more of the Grinch. Yeah. Am I right?
Oh, yes.
There you go.
So accurate.
And let's hope that she's barren.
Yes, these jokes are so funny. Well, no, let's be real. These are grown men standing around making primary school jokes about this guy's sister that aren't even funny. Are they true? Perhaps.
Growing up, she took the brunt of the abuse. She got into so many fights defending me. It takes a toll on a person. She hides behind.
Oh wow, this actually has some deeper meaning. The brother only vents and makes jokes about his sister only because he still cares about her and needs her in his life. And even though they have differences, he still misses her. Wow, I'm really glad that the film slows down and actually focuses in on these emotional moments. It really makes such an impact on...
Come on.
What? Hey, what? No. The movie's just starting to open up and display its emotional moments. Come on, we can't move on now.
Are you ready for Christmas?
A Christmas montage? Oh, come on, that is so cheap. You can't really expect me to...
Are you ready for Christmas? Are you taking the halls? Are you ready for Christmas? We'll be having a ball. Are you ready for Christmas? Are you having some fun? Are you ready for... He just broke into that donation box. I've learned that my next door neighbor is a common criminal. I should have known better. Thief!
Karen, you literally just stole a bottle of wine earlier that day, and now you're calling out a struggling father who was just trying to provide for his sick daughter. And that's not all. We also find out that Karen has shut down a charity for sick children because, well, of course she did. Just as I think she's starting to learn, she brings out this BS again. And honestly, I think the Ghost of Christmas Present agrees because she's done with her as well.
Ta-ta, Karen.
Okay, Karen, just go home, stop being rude to people, and please don't draw attention to yourself. Karen. Now, we've had the Ghost of Christmas Past and the Ghost of Christmas Future, so of course now, the last ghost of the night is...
I'm Damon. I'm the ghost of future Chris...
Yeah. Now, this guy's job is essentially to show Karen around her future... I don't even know why I need to explain it, it's in his name. But it is the last chance they have to attempt to try and change Karen, if that's even possible.
What do I have to touch?
Huh? What? Oh yeah, touch this.
You know what? I would rather you didn't.
Yeah, touch this.
So they walk through this void and arrive 1 year into the future, where Karen is soon to discover that there is a new family living inside her house. She takes it about as well as you'd expect.
You know, we speak English in America!
So you're probably wondering, why is there a new family living inside her house? Why is Karen suddenly out of the picture? Well, to put it simply, Karen is, well, dead.
How did you know Karen?
She was our neighbor. We just had our own.
Karen's accident happened shortly after our daughter passed.
Well, that just got depressing. The little girl next door died after the family couldn't afford medicine for her treatment, and Karen also died because, well, karma, I guess. Yeah, that's probably it. Although everyone is really excited about the news of Karen kicking the bucket, maybe a little too excited because, I mean, she was still a person. I mean, look at these people. They hardly knew her and they can hardly contain their excitement. Now, Karen is obviously very shocked by the sight of her deceased body in the future. So with no real hesitation at all, she instantly changes her entire outlook and attitude towards life. Which does beg the question, would it have just been easier to show Karen the future straight away instead of taking her on this entire journey of showing her the past and the present? I mean, while she does get a little bit more knowledgeable about the ones around her, until this point where she discovers that she is dead 1 year into the future, she's been the same person and hasn't even changed at all. I feel like it would have just made the movie a lot more straightforward and simple, and also shorter. Okay, so here's the plan. I'll show Karen around her past and what eventually leads her to becoming the woman she is today. Oh, and that's great. And I'll make her aware of all the people that she's hurt in her life. Oh, sounds terrific, but we should probably quickly go before... Hey guys, so, what did I miss? Great. We're helping Karen become a better person. Oh, that's great. You know, Karen's actually dead 1 year into the future, so we can go there and show her that if she doesn't change her ways, then she'll eventually be... Oh, we're actually fine. We don't need your help with this one, but thanks anyway. You sure? It would make things a lot easier. Oh, no, we're fine. How come? Because otherwise it renders the rest of this completely pointless. Well, put it this way. Do you really want to spend your night dealing with someone like Karen? Someone, no matter what you do or say, won't change her ways unless you can show that her actions will eventually affect her, despite the fact that she's already harmed countless other individuals before? Yeah, he's got a point. He really does. But as soon as Karen wakes up Christmas morning, she is an entirely different person and is determined to do some good in the world.
I feel like a tourist. I feel like an alien. Making me nervous. Sometimes I feel like...
What was that? You know what, if I'm completely honest, I think I would be more scared at seeing that in the middle of a supermarket than some entitled middle-aged lady giving me a hard time, but that's just me.
Yes, Christina. Oh, like Christmas? Nice.
Now, after 2 decades of not saying a word to each other, Karen finally apologizes to her brother.
They're right. I'm a swamp donkey. A nasty toadess. A Norwegian water demon. I from Lord of the Rings.
I mean, they're not wrong. I've been called Hairy Chewbacca, a twisted warlock, an elephant for JJ, the Grinch, saggy Skittle Tits. Oh yeah. Oh, you also forgot... Too far?
Mimosas, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
And the last thing to tick off is obviously helping the little girl by donating a bunch of rare toys that the family can sell to afford the medicine for her so she can get better.
Merry Christmas, Karen.
Merry Christmas, Miss Karen.
Are you ready for Christmas? Are you taking the halls?
Well, safe to say that is not what I expected. So that was A Christmas Karen, and it was something. Not sure what, but yeah, it was certainly something. That's for sure. I was just expecting this film to be another cliche Christmas flick with no real purpose or meaning, but I actually kind of liked it. Surprisingly. I love this modern retelling of a Christmas Carol formula, and it's done really well. Surprisingly, considering the main character makes me want to smack my head against a wall. It's obviously not perfect, but hey, if you wanted to check it out, I wouldn't stop you. While it does have its funny moments, it's also quite emotional and handles those themes really well. And overall, it's a decent watch. But shout out to all those Karens out there, and I'm obviously not talking about those types of Karens. I'm of course talking about all of those lovely women out there who are called Karen, but despite that are actually really lovely people and go against all of those stereotypes. I'm so sorry your name has been turned into this. It's really not fair. But that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to consider subscribing to the channel and giving this video a big thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Friday.